The final song we're going to talk about today, again, is developing this idea of hearing music in two voices. This song is called Tiptoe. I'm going to play the student's part and sing it, and then I'll show you a picture of the score so that you understand what they've been hearing and what they've been listening for. Similar to Hamster, the words of the piece dip below and above the hands. So they're moving from voice to voice, which allows the student's ear to tune higher, lower, and higher as they're going along. So this is Tiptoe. Tip, tiptoe, tip, tiptoe, walk down the hall. Tip, tiptoe, tip, tiptoe, stepping quite small. Tip, tiptoe, tip, tiptoe, everyone sleeps. Tip, tiptoe, tip, tiptoe, don't make a peep. Now, you can also add a really fun articulation to this by allowing the left hand to be detached whilst the right hand is holding the dotted minim or the dotted half note, so that they have two things happening at once. So they have the non-legato in the left hand and they have the holding note in the right hand, and then that switches back and forth. The other thing that you can do is, because it's so repetitive, we can encourage the students to experiment with dynamics and some diminuendos. So they could do the phrases in different dynamics. Tip, tiptoe, tip, tiptoe, walk down the hall. Tip, tiptoe, tip, tiptoe, stepping quite small. Tip, tiptoe, and so on. They also have the option to choose a tempo. So if they think that they can tiptoe quickly, then it can be a quick tempo. It's up to them what they think the music sounds best with the music. Tip, tiptoe, tip, tiptoe, walk down the hall. Tip, tiptoe, tip, tiptoe, stepping quite small. The final thing that I've done with students on this is, because they tend to like this piece, and when given the option, they often choose this piece for one of our recitals. And it's quite repetitive and it's very short. So at this point, I might suggest that they perform it halfway in one octave and another octave, or play it twice in different octaves. So you can really experiment with sound quality when you move up the octave. So tip, tiptoe, tip, tiptoe, walk down the hall. Tip, tiptoe, and so on. So it gives such a simple piece is full of really, really rich musicianship skills, oral skills, and of course reading skills, because they're reading these patterns. Also, in the solfa side of the page, as always, they've been prompted to play the piece in 3 different positions, which means that by the time they learn both pages, they've transposed the piece with all of these elements into 4 different keys. And that's quite advanced and quite sophisticated for this level of playing, and usually for the length of time that a student has been playing. By the time they get here, this is quite fancy playing. So that is a little introduction to the way we teach harmony and hands together in PianoForte Level 3.